Helping you live healthy. At least 1.7 million people in America develop sepsis. Sepsis is the body's extreme response to an infection. It can also be life-threatening. September is Sepsis Awareness Month, and to help us get a better understanding of the condition is Dr. Lauren Black with UF College of Medicine. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning, Brianna. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit more about sepsis and how is it diagnosed?
Sure, thanks. That's a great question, and I really appreciate y'all calling awareness to this important condition. So you're right, over a million people, about 1.6, 1.7 million people get sepsis a year. Of those, more than 250,000 will die. And it's one of the most expensive reasons, most of the expensive conditions we treat in the hospital. So it's really important. The way it's diagnosed is one of the things that makes it a particularly challenging condition is there's no perfect test for sepsis. So what happens is it's really when your body has an infection and it has an inappropriate response to that infection. And instead of getting better, you get very sick and some of your organs start to shut down or have dysfunction. How that's diagnosed is really the entirety of someone's clinical picture when they come into the hospital. So your doctor or a clinician will look at your vital signs, your labs, and see if you have evidence that some of your organs are having problems because of the infection. And when that happens, we call that sepsis. But it's certainly one of the more challenging conditions to diagnose just because of some of that ambiguity.
Wow. And who is at risk of getting it?
So that's a great question. That's one of the areas that we're researching a lot. Anyone can really get sepsis. Certainly, we have some clear signs of who's more susceptible to sepsis, and those are, the extremes of ages. So older people, really young babies, they could be predisposed to sepsis, as can people who have conditions that make it hard for their bodies to fight infections, or whether or not they take medicines that make it hard for their body to respond appropriately to an infection. But certainly, that's not the end of the story. Anyone can really get sepsis. That's one of the areas we're researching at UF Jacksonville and across the country.
So at what point, when should you decide to see a doctor and get help?
Well, certainly if you're feeling severely ill from an infection, if you have an infection and it's really hard for you to breathe, if you're stopped going to the bathroom very often and you haven't urinated for an extended period of time, if your blood pressure is really low, if you have a way to check that at home, any of those things would be indications to come to the hospital urgently.
And what are some treatments available to hopefully slow, because I know people can die from this. How do we prevent people from dying from this?
That's a really great question. So about 15 to 20% of people with sepsis will die. Once you get to the extreme where you have low blood pressure from sepsis, about 40% of those patients will die. So it is incredibly dangerous. It's treated with fluids. So you'll start an IV and they'll send off labs, and through that they'll give fluids. And the most important thing is early antibiotics. So they'll give broad spectrum antibiotics very early. And then you'll be admitted on those antibiotics. If your blood pressure gets low from the sepsis, we have other medications that can increase your blood pressure. Certainly, there's a bunch of novel therapies out there as well that are the subject of a bunch of research.
Wow, such an important topic. Thank you so much, Dr. Lauren Black with UF College of Medicine. It was a pleasure speaking with you this morning.
It was a pleasure speaking with you as well. Thank you for your time.